Next guest is a pioneer in all those fields. He led the team that put the first web browser into an online service. He helped a telecom giant grow its internet business, held leadership positions in numerous big media companies. Basically, he's done it all. Also a tech founder, investor, Scott Kurnit is here, founder and CEO of Keep.com and the Swizzle.com. Great to see you as always, Scott Kurnit. So we just heard from Corey talking about, of course, these cool cameras that everybody's using. What are you seeing now, whether it's tech, whether it's media, whether it's just a new business model, that's really surprising you? So
I think Corey's comment about GoPro having owned 2 of them is that a little company out of nowhere takes on Sony and Canon and all these other companies and blows past them. And I think that's just one of the interesting things about tech. What I'm seeing now, and that's interesting, is one is obviously there's new innovation in tech all the time, and there's huge disruption. TechCrunch obviously disrupt. I think we're seeing a push in native advertising. I think we're going to see a lot more in video. I think social is now truly part of everything, the social fabric that Facebook has. Sure. And we have lots of social. I mean, obviously Pinterest and Twitter as well. But we're still at the dawn, believe it or not, of this media.
Okay. All right, well, that's kind of interesting. So we can talk about the timing. But as far as native advertising, that's a little tricky, right? Because, as you say, we're also connected. We're also social. So unless someone is really slick in his or her delivery, and by someone, I mean a company, it's very easy to tune it out, right?
So the interesting thing about native is it's risky, and it comes from the reason people are moving to native is to try and make you think it's content. Now the FTC steps in and says, wait a second, you're supposed to tell us this is sponsored.
Because magazines got in a little trouble with this, I don't know, about 10 years ago.
It's constantly cat and mouse, because what I learned with our first foray into AdKeeper, which was the predecessor to Keep, which is keeping products, is frankly people don't really like ads. And that's our fault as an industry.
Even if they're funny, even if they're clever, I mean, maybe you pass along 1 or 2, but that's it.
Well, and part of the problem is we know where they are. We know where they are on television, so we go to the kitchen. We know there's a pre-roll on Hulu, so we go tweet a little bit and get past the 15 or 30 seconds. So there are some interesting ones, but the problem is 90% of ads are not interesting, they're not funny, they're not useful. They're meant to interrupt you. So we're seeing a flip from this interruptive advertising to something that's more invitational, which has been our theory and is the theory of our 2 products.
So what does that mean then for Keep.com and the Swizzle?
So interestingly, we started this business trying to keep ads with a bet that ads would get more interesting if you could time shift them and keep them. That was a big industry push, and you need everyone. You needed Project Devil at AOL to work, and it didn't. You needed the IAB with its 6 new immersive units to work. It didn't. So what we did is we shifted to what ads are meant to do, which is to sell products, and said, what if we just keep the products instead of the ads?
So what does this mean, brass tack, as far as, does that mean if I've purchased this in the past, then I will get an ad for this product? How am I organized if I'm using your product?
So what we're doing is we're saying to people, anyone, go keep a product from anywhere. So it's a new kind of commerce. I actually think it's e-commerce 4.0. We can talk about what 1, 2, and 3 are. But we are collecting, or our people are collecting products from 15,000 stores anywhere on the web. So it makes us, interestingly, more diverse than Amazon or Walmart or Fab or you name it, because by using the ability to easily collect, put into your own collections, we now have something like 300,000 products into, I think it's about 120,000 different collections.
But what if people just say, like, I'm used to Amazon, I have my basket, I have it on reorder every month. What is to get them away from them and to your service?
So I think Amazon's fantastic. Bezos is a genius. It's 20 years old. But somehow we as an industry still only have 7% of commerce happening online.
So why is that, do you think? I
think we're missing a lot. Partly, as John Malone long time said about the cable industry, my worst customers are dying off.
Okay.
And that's part of it. Is, you know, kids are, you know, you see it in younger demographics saying, why would I go to a store when I can buy online? And then you look at something like Amazon, which is great. But Amazon's for very directed shopping. If I know I want that specific printer, Amazon's great and it's directed. Keep plays on the other side of discovery. We're like a boutique. As you scroll our homepage, you'll see lots of diversity of products that are trending to the top, that are collected from not only Amazon, but 14,999 other places.
It's more personalized and it's more niche.
Well, I think that the products are actually more interesting because they've been collected by people. So when I say 4.0 commerce, I'll go backwards. So 4.0 to me is collecting from anywhere and everywhere using the power of the web and the tools that are now available. 3.0 is social. And everyone's now social. Bloomingdale's is social. Share with your friend. Use the Facebook social graph, and that makes a ton of sense. 2.0 is Amazon of yesteryear, which is, hey, let's get this stuff into a warehouse. And 1.0 is go into the store. But if you go to what Amazon is, which is mostly shipped from our, it's completely shipped from our warehouse. Their warehouses are massive, but they can never be as massive as the whole world. And I think that what we now have is the ability to collect from anywhere, share with your friends, get some cred, get some social juice, or just buy it for yourself.
All right, 4.0, you heard it here. Scott Kurnit, thank you as always for stopping by. Scott Kurnit joining me there, founder and CEO of Keep.com and TheSwizzle.com. When we come back on